Welcome back to our 2024 mock draft for this NBA draft coming up later this month. We had the number 2 overall pick yesterday, which shocked the world. I am here with Jonathan Feigen with he'll be representing the Houston Rockets in today's mock draft. The Rockets also did a little bit of shocking themselves, I guess. They shocked everyone. And they were fighting for a play-in spot last year, came just short. I was rooting for them, but just short. And now they have a chance to continue building on this young core. They have had a top 5 pick the past 4 years. They've nailed it. I mean, Jalen Green, Jabari Smith, Mon Thompson, like just so good. And now looking to add to this very, very young team. First of all, before we get to who you're going to be choosing in today's draft, what do the Rockets need?
Well, shooting. You'd probably say if you were basing anything on needs, you'd say shooting. That's the weakness they had. I will immediately transition to they're one of those teams, and we see this not only across the NBA, across sports, where the team says best player available. We will not consider need. Given the track record under Rafael Stone and given the many long speeches I have heard him give on that subject, I believe him that they will, in this case and always, draft based on the player they think will have the best career. And in their case, his track record, upside. I think he's a guy who so far has been willing to take chances. He hasn't made the safe pick. And like some of his late first round picks have not panned out, but you can understand what he was thinking because if everything had fallen into place, greater upside. So I think we go into the draft with that in mind. His track record, rather than look at Rockets' needs, I would consider Rockets' tendencies. Their tendency is best player, highest upside.
All right. Well, that being said, let's put you on the clock representing the Houston Rockets. Who are you drafting today, Jonathan?
I'm on the clock, so does that mean I need to wander around
and take your time until the very last second? Let Woj know, and then
that's right. Actually, I think those are agent ones, but right. The funny thing is, I say that, and a lot of the talk about the Rockets has been that they're open to moving that pick, and I wrote that before the lottery too. They were more open and looking to move it at 9 than they would be at 3, if only because it's hard to trade the 3rd pick to get a future 12th pick or future 15th pick, even though this is a weaker draft. Now, if they could get 2 12s, they might do that. And obviously, if they can pair it with some asset they have to get a star, they'd like to use moving up to help them. But they are definitely more interested in picking in the first round or in the lottery in future years than they are this year.
Yeah. But no one's super excited about this draft.
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Nobody's super excited about this draft.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It definitely is. But that said, and I might pick a different name if I was thinking this pick is getting traded and somebody else was going to make the 3rd pick. Yeah. But the Rockets are on the clock. I've now stalled a little bit. You gave me a little help by saying Castle goes 2nd. So with the Rockets pick, I will take Zachary Resacher. And for the purpose of this video, I did practice saying his last name correctly.
Yes, en français.
Resacher. Yeah. So, I think he has the most upside of the guys on the board. And he's a wing. And you'd say, well, if you're looking for fit, you wouldn't take a wing. But again, I don't think that's a consideration when they're actually on the clock. Terrific talent. He's got a better shot than some of the other guys, some of which they're probably more likely to take because I don't know that Castle will go 2nd. I like Castle a lot too, and I think they might too, but I don't know about for 3rd. But in this exercise, Zachary Resacher.
Yeah, I don't mind that actually. And we're talking about upside. I have him listed as my 2nd guy, like in my notes as well. So to move to 3rd wouldn't be like a crazy stretch, but he's also has that potential to be a 3-and-D guy. So the shooting could be actually a fit as well as a really good talent.
And switchable, which if you think of their schemes and Ime Udoka's priorities, switchable defender is that falls in line with what they do, what he values, what he likes. So yeah, I mean, all right, I made this big speech about how not to consider that, but if you consider that, I think that makes him happier.
Yeah, and if he's still on the board at 3, he still has a super high ceiling. So best of both worlds there.
Absolutely. I think just based on high ceiling, best player available, he would be their pick. But yes, he would fit better. I know Rocket fans would be very happy. You know, the people who follow the draft, they'd be thrilled if they heard Castle go second.
Right?
Castle fits Ime Udoka's style and priorities very well, too. And if you believe his shot will come around, which is a sentence we could say about Topic, which we could say about Butelis, but if you believe his shot can come around, hey, he'd fit at third, too. You could say that about a Klingon. If you believe he can be Brooke Lopez someday, you know, I know he will remain tall. So you could see him there too. But Rissa Shayer is a really good pick for them here.
Yeah, I like that pick as well. I mean, he's 6'9" too. He's got some height on him. He's a big wing.
Yeah, he's got good wingspan. And Reed Shepard's the best shooter in the draft. But that wingspan, I mean, it's if you're 6'2", okay, that's all right. I mean, Fred VanVleet is 6'0", but he's a thick, strong guy. Reed Shepard is more slender with a really short wingspan to where you wonder defensively, how is he going to hold up? And can you switch? Okay, with VanVleet, they switch 1 through 4, sometimes 1 through 3. With Reed Shepard, can you switch 1 through 2? And so that's a bit of a concern, but best shooter in the draft, great instincts. You know, he'd be a candidate at 3 too.
Look, coming from a Grizzlies side, we stand a short wingspan because we love Desmond Bane, and sometimes that makes them really good shooters. So,
well, short wingspan, but he starts at 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah, there's a little bit of a difference there.
Yeah. A thick one too. So if he's going to switch, he can and hold
he's
up.
a little bulkier.
Right, the 6'1.5" guy, not so much.
Thank you so much. I think that's kind of who I thought you were going to take. So I'm glad you did. So I didn't have to search in my brain for more info. Thank you so much for your time in this mock draft. I wish you all the best. I guess it's less than a month now until we get to see what actually happens with that number 2 and 3 pick. So thank you so much.
Always a pleasure. We'll do it again next year when they're picking with the Nets pick.
Deal.
Which they are this time too.